You know that voice, right? The one inside your head that's maybe a bit too quick with a
Oh,
critique,
yeah.
maybe a little loud sometimes,
Yeah.
telling you're not quite hitting the mark,
Definitely. We all have those moments.
or maybe, longer stretches where self-doubt just kind of hangs around.
It feels like a constant companion sometimes, doesn't it? That feeling of like the goalposts always moving.
Exactly.
Uh,
Like you're just not measuring up, whatever measuring up is even supposed to mean.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're getting into today. We're doing a deep dive into boosting self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. And we're using some really insightful material to guide us.
Yeah, our source for this is content from the Awaken Your Potential community.
Specifically, their video called Boost Your Self-Esteem, A Journey to Inner Peace.
Catchy title.
It is, and it offers a really helpful framework, some practical tools too. They really resonate.
So our mission here is basically to unpack the core ideas from that video
Yeah, distill them down a bit.
and look at how their perspective might offer you concrete ways to build up that sense of your own worth.
And quiet that inner critic we were just talking about.
Yes, please. So it's about understanding what self-esteem really is, tackling the critic, and then exploring the toolkit they suggest.
Things like, challenging thoughts, positive self-talk, setting goals, self-care. Lots to cover.
Okay, let's jump in.
All right. So this Journey to Inner Peace video, it starts by asking us to really think about what self-esteem is.
Okay.
And it frames it less as just like feeling good about yourself.
Which is kind of vague anyway.
Right. It frames it more fundamentally as recognizing your inherent worth.
Ah, inherent worth. That feels,
Yeah.
that feels significant, not tied to what you do or achieve.
Exactly. But who you are. It's believing you have value simply because you exist.
Wow. Okay.
And the video contrasts that feeling, believing in your worth, which shows up as confidence, capability, with the feeling when that belief is low.
Which leads to doubt, holding back,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Pretty much. And the video makes a point of really underlining a message, one we often forget, I think,
What's that?
that you are worthy. Worthy of love, belonging, happiness, respect. That you are enough, just as you are.
It sounds simple, but actually living from that belief,
Yeah.
that's different.
It's a total game changer. But the source immediately points out the biggest hurdle to living like that.
Let me guess. The inner critic.
You got it. That persistent internal voice.
The video describes it really vividly, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it tells you you're not smart enough or thin enough, successful enough.
Whatever enough is, it can be so loud, so convincing sometimes.
Yeah, making you feel small, like you're constantly falling short of some, I don't know, invisible standard.
And it can really drown out anything positive, can it?
Totally. That voice just fuels self-doubt, makes you second-guess everything.
And it can absolutely paralyze you when it comes to, going after your goals or dreams.
Okay, so here's where the Awaken Your Potential source offers a really pivotal reframe. This bit I found particularly interesting. It says these negative thoughts from the inner critic, they're just thoughts.
Yes. That's such a crucial piece in their framework. They really emphasize that your thoughts aren't always, reality.
They're not facts.
Exactly. And most importantly, these negative thoughts do not define who you are or what you're capable of.
Just thoughts. That's a powerful distinction, isn't it?
It really is.
Because if they're just thoughts, you don't automatically have to accept them as truth.
Right. The video really emphasizes that you have the power, the agency to challenge them, to change them even.
You're not just stuck with that voice.
No, you can question its narrative. You can start building a different one.
Okay, so how do you actually do that? What's the method they suggest?
Well, when that inner critic pipes up, the advice is pretty direct. Stop. And challenge it.
Just stop and question it.
Yeah. Ask yourself straight up, is what this voice saying really true? Is there actual solid evidence for it?
Or is it just based on, like, old fears or insecurities, past stuff?
Exactly. Because often, as the video points out, these negative thoughts are actually distortions. They're not objective facts.
Okay.
And by questioning them, you start to weaken the critic's hold, its authority over you.
And you can then, like, consciously choose to focus on something else, something more positive.
Precisely. Shift your focus to positive aspects of yourself or the situation.
Right. And speaking of shifting focus, the source puts a huge emphasis on the power of your words.
Positive self-talk.
Yeah. Words build worlds, right? What you say to yourself really matters.
It fundamentally shapes your thoughts, influences your emotions, guides your actions. It's profound.
So if you're constantly putting yourself down,
You start to believe it. It creates this cycle of doubt.
but the flip side, which the video highlights, is that intentionally using positive language towards yourself,
Hmm.
that can dramatically improve how you feel.
Yeah, they suggest positive self-talk is a tool for building confidence, reducing stress.
Fostering optimism, facing challenges with more resilience, all good things.
Definitely. And a key technique the source really champions for cultivating this positive self-talk is using affirmations.
Okay, affirmations,
Yep.
like simple positive statements.
Exactly. Things you repeat regularly, like, I am capable, I am worthy, I am beautiful.
Simple, but maybe feels a bit awkward at first.
Oh, yeah. The video acknowledges that. They suggest things like standing in front of a mirror and saying them to yourself daily.
Okay.
And yeah, it might feel weird, even silly initially.
Yeah.
But their point is, stick with it. Consistency is key.
And they also suggest writing them down, right? Putting them places you'll see them.
Mm-hmm. On your bathroom mirror, the fridge, maybe your phone background.
The idea is to make these positive statements familiar.
So they become a more natural part of your internal dialogue, helping build that more resilient mindset the source talks about.
It's like you're deliberately planting better seeds in your mental garden.
That's a great way to put it. Now, moving from those internal words to external action,
Okay.
the source connects boosting self-esteem pretty significantly to setting and achieving goals.
Yeah, that makes sense. Goals give you something tangible to aim for.
Right. And actually hitting milestones, even small ones, feels good. It gives you that sense of accomplishment.
So the advice from the video is start small.
Yeah, pick achievable goals first. Or, if you have bigger goals, break them down into smaller, less daunting steps.
Because as you start ticking things off, even little things,
Your confidence grows. Your belief in your ability to tackle anything starts to build.
you're collecting evidence for yourself that you can do things.
Precisely. And crucially, the source says, celebrate all your successes.
Don't just rush on to the next thing.
No, big or small, take a moment, acknowledge your hard work, appreciate how far you've come.
Yeah, don't skip that celebration step.
Yeah.
It's not just ego, right?
Yeah,
It reinforces your capabilities.
absolutely. It reminds you we're making progress. They even suggest, don't be afraid to be proud and share successes with others.
Nice. Okay, something else the Awaken Your Potential source touches on, which feels really important for self-esteem. Embracing imperfection.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one because nobody's perfect.
Definitely not. Making mistakes is just part of being human, isn't it?
Totally. And the video's message here is really clear. Don't use mistakes as ammo for the inner critic.
Don't beat yourself up.
Right. Learn from them, sure, but then move on.
Yeah.
They also normalize just having bad days. Like, it's okay to not be okay all the time.
Give yourself permission to just feel whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
Sad, frustrated, whatever.
Exactly. Because ultimately, the source suggests trying to be perfect is, well, it's exhausting and impossible.
So the goal isn't perfection.
No, it's authenticity, being yourself. You are, as they put it, perfectly imperfect.
I like that.
And that unique mix of qualities is what makes you special. So embrace your flaws, celebrate your uniqueness.
That idea of treating yourself kindly, especially when you mess up or feel imperfect, that leads right into another area the video highlights, doesn't it?
It does. Self-care.
Which the source calls a necessity, not a luxury.
Absolutely essential for maintaining healthy self-esteem. It's about recognizing your own worth.
And treating yourself with the same kindness you'd give a friend.
Exactly. When you actively make time and effort to care for yourself, think about the message you're sending yourself.
I am worthy of this care. I deserve this attention.
Right. And that fundamentally boosts confidence.
And it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive, right? The video gives simple examples.
Totally. Taking a hot bath, reading a book you enjoy, spending time in nature.
Listening to music, doing a hobby, even just making time for laughter or moving your body.
These simple acts reduce stress, increase happiness. The core message here is self-care isn't selfish.
It's foundational for mental, emotional, physical health.
And maybe counterintuitively, when you actually nurture yourself first.
You're better equipped to be there for others.
Exactly. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? They also mention mindfulness and meditation briefly as ways to stay grounded in all this.
Okay. Another practice the source connects directly to building self-esteem. Gratitude.
Ah, yes. Gratitude. They present it as a really powerful way to shift your focus.
How so?
Well, by intentionally appreciating what you have, you move away from dwelling on what you think you lack or what's wrong.
And that naturally boosts your self-esteem
Yeah.
and contentment.
Yeah. It helps you see the good that's already there.
And the practice they suggest is pretty simple, too.
Very simple. Start each day by just thinking of, say, 3 things you're grateful for.
Could be anything.
Anything at all. A sunny day, your morning coffee, a friend's smile, a comfortable bed.
And just take a moment to really feel that appreciation.
Exactly. That simple act, done regularly, can really shift your mindset over time, rewire your brain almost.
To look for the positive instead of defaulting to the negative.
Precisely. It can have a profound impact.
Okay, so finally the source wraps things up by talking about connection.
Yeah, connection in 2 ways, really. Connection with yourself and connection with others.
Connection with yourself,
Yeah.
meaning being true to who you are.
Mm-hmm. Embrace your quirks, your interests, your individuality. As the video reminds us, what makes you different is exactly what makes you special.
There's no one else like you.
Truly, so embrace that authentic self.
And then connection with others.
Being intentional about who you spend your time with. Because the people around you, they really influence how you see yourself.
That's true.
So the source suggests surrounding yourself with positive people. People who lift you up, encourage you.
People who appreciate the real you, the authentic you.
Exactly. Being your authentic self and finding your tribe, finding those people, they say that's key to feeling truly seen and valued.
Okay, so looking back at this whole awaken your potential journey we've explored.
It really starts with understanding self-esteem as recognizing your inherent worth.
And then actively confronting that inner critic that tries to tear it down.
Knowing you have the power to challenge those negative thoughts, to question if they're even true.
To weaken their hold.
Right. And you have tools to help.
Like using positive self-talk and affirmations. Building yourself up from the inside.
Then turning that inward shift into outward action. Setting goals.
Working towards them and definitely celebrating every single win, big or small.
Absolutely. And embracing your perfectly imperfect self along the way.
Giving yourself permission to be human, flaws and all.
And making self-care a non-negotiable. Because you are worthy of care.
Yes. Plus, cultivating gratitude, consciously shifting focus to the good stuff.
No matter how small it seems.
And finally, being true to yourself and building connections with people who genuinely support and value you.
Yeah, the authentic you.
So the core message from the video, the big takeaway we want to leave you with, is powerful and actually quite simple.
You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough.
Just as you are.
Right now. So here's a final thought to mull over, something maybe explore on your own.
Okay.
So self-esteem is truly about recognizing your inherent worth, the worth you were born with. What would actually change in your life? In your day-to-day, your decisions, how you interact with people? What would change if you really, truly operated from that deep-seated belief that you were already enough? Regardless of achievements, regardless of that inner critic's noise, what would look different?